Let's go in the YouTube world. This is Doug Montezella here. I got a special guest today. I got Alex Timberlake. Why don't you introduce yourself?
How's it going, everyone? My name is Alex Timberlake. I graduated from the Colorado School of Mines in 2013, and I've been working for the past 4 years as an engineer. For the 3 years I was at ExxonMobil, and for the past year I've been working for Kiewit.
Great, thanks. So I'm really excited today. We get to talk about investing and finance. So our goal today is to really get into, okay, somebody just graduated college, they got their first job, maybe they're making 40, 50, 60K a year, right? Making sure they have the tools they need to make the best decisions for themselves, because you could set yourself up for success or failure, right, when you come out of the gates. So just starting out, okay, person just got their first couple of paychecks. You want to give us a little insight into what they should be thinking about first?
Sure. Well, there's some couple mindsets that you're going to want to shift after college. The first one is you need to realize the impact that the time value of money has on your investments, where $1 today could be worth $30 or $50 in the future. So putting a little bit aside now will go a very, very long way in the future. And a lot of people might not really realize the power of this, but if you're just able to put away 10% per year, that could make you retire 10 years earlier than if you spent all your money. But if you're just graduating from college and you're just getting your first steady paycheck, there are a few key things that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing. And the very first of these is if your company has a 401k matching program, you need to take full advantage of this. So an example of a 401k matching program is when a company will match up to, say, a certain percentage that you contribute to your 401k. So I know for ExxonMobil, their matching is 7%. So if you put 7% of your base salary into the 401k, they will match up to 7% of your base salary. So this is essentially free, risk-free money that you can be saving every year. So if you don't take advantage of this, you're missing out on a huge savings potential. Great,
thanks. And one thing to add on that, in a book I was reading, Unshakable by Tony Robbins, he mentions that if you save as little as $360 a month, put it into your whatever percentage of your income that is, $360 a month from age 23 to 65, right? And you will walk away with over $1.5 million in savings, because you're letting, right now when you're coming out of college, the best asset you have is time. You can let that money sit and get 9 or 10% returns. You're going to double your money every 7 years. So understanding getting in the market as soon as you can, don't hesitate because you have student loans. It's way more important to get this compound interest effect of your 401k will have for you later on.
Yeah, and to add on that, so let's say you do double your money every 7 years. So let's say you have a 35-year career, that means your money should double 5 times. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 16. So a dollar saved today would be worth $16 in the future. And if you have a 42-year career, then it doubles again and it's $32. So you really need to understand the impact of saving a few $1,000s now could end up being hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars when you retire.
Okay, great. So now you have an idea of what the benchmarks, right? What we're trying to get into, get your first job, jump in the 401k, get your company match. So moving on from that, in the personal investing world, right? Say somebody has themselves established in their 401k, they're taking advantage of company match. What is your strategy for personal investing? I know apps like Robinhood make things super easy for us millennials to get into the market, right? We don't need to think twice about it. It's an app on our phone now. So what's a strategy you employ to work? I know it's very risky and people can get scared of the stock market, right? We watch movies on how things crash. So what's your strategy to really prevent yourself from risk and also capitalizing on your gains?
Very good. So the way I invest my money is there's the matching program with my company is the very first thing I make sure that I'm doing. And then the second step is then I believe the yearly limit that you're allowed to put towards your 401k is $18,500. I might be off by a little bit. These limits change on a yearly basis. But what I make sure I'm doing is I am maxing out that money. And the money that I have invested into my 401k is in a bunch of S&P 500 index funds. Statistics have shown that most money managers don't beat the market. In fact, they actually will do worse than the market. And having just a low-cost index fund is probably your best place to put money if you're not going to use it for the next 2, 3, 4 decades. So the first place I'm putting my money is in my 401k in these index funds. Now, if I have any money left over, so if I go past that $18,500 towards my 401k, then what I do is I take that money and I put it into a personal IRA. So you could have a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Another limit is $5,500, where you could put this annually into a Roth IRA. So this would be the third location that I'm storing, or I guess it's the second location, but it's kind of the third checkpoint of decisions to make. Its first decision is make sure you're getting 100% match. The second decision is maxing out your 401k if you have the means to do so. And then the third decision is putting money towards this personal IRA. Now, in this IRA, that's when I'm investing money in the stock market, as Doug was alluding to. And to diversify my risk, I will have some money put into another S&P index fund. But I do explore investing in individual stocks. And something that's going to be a personal decision for every individual is what is their risk tolerance. Myself, I'm 26 years old. I have a decent, steady paying job. So if I was to lose all the money that I'm investing in this IRA bucket, I'll be okay. So my risk tolerance is maybe higher than someone who's 50 or 60 years old and getting close to retirement. So I feel more comfortable putting money into individual stocks that I believe have higher upside. So a lot of these are kind of the more speculative tech companies, such as maybe Nvidia. This was a stock that I bought last year and has since gone up about 150%. And you're not going to get that kind of gain in an S&P 500 index fund. So that there is more upside, but there is more risk, and that's kind of the balance that you do in any kind of investment is what is the potential benefit is one, and what is the potential risk for that money. And stocks tend to have a little more risk, especially individual stocks have a little more risk to them, but if you are able to smartly pick some of these stocks, they could have even more upside. And early on in your life, that is the best time to have a high risk tolerance, because you could always make the money back.
Great. So now we have an understanding of, in our 401ks, right, our first step is putting in something safe. The S&P 500, your company, when you first open up your account, you're going to see a bunch of different choices, and you're going to want to find the one that is closest related to the S&P 500. So in that 401k, you want to have something predictable and low risk, and let that money sit there and compound, because S&P 500 will double your money every 7 years. Historically speaking, it always has, and it will continue to do so. And then in our IRAs, you're saying that's where, once we have that maxed out, then we can start working on our own, working in a little more high risk areas, right? So we're young and take advantage of companies like Nvidia and semiconductor companies that really started to take off over the last couple of years. Great. So I know people out there want to break up into another subject that's related to investing, which is, really want to bring Alex here. He does a lot of work with cryptocurrencies. I know we've heard maybe some news headlines of Bitcoin and Ether. So I wanted to just give a high-level overview, nothing too detailed. We'll maybe get into a more detailed discussion later on, but help people understand how can they get involved, and if you see it as an area that's going to expand in the future.
Oh, absolutely. So again, following this video, we want to kind of tie things back to investing, where as we've been talking, we've gone progressively higher and higher risk, where the first dollars that you want to be saving, you want to be them as low risk as possible. These are the dollars you plan on holding until you completely retire, and you're not going to really touch this money. So your 401k, steady Eddie S&P 500 index fund. That's where you're going to want your money for the long term. Then if you have additional money, you put that into an IRA where you have the $5,500 per year. You could maybe put this money towards an S&P 500 index fund, or you could put it towards higher risk investments such as individual stocks. Now the next tier that we're going to talk about is cryptocurrencies. You can technically put these into an IRA. You would need a self-directed IRA. I believe there are some brokers who will allow you to put cryptocurrencies into an IRA, but I don't recommend doing this. I would recommend, if you're going to invest in cryptocurrencies, that this is just money that's outside of any retirement account, and this is what I would consider fun money, where you are completely okay if that goes completely to zero. If that $1,000 or $100 or $10,000 just evaporates, it wouldn't affect you at all. So what are cryptocurrencies? At a very high level, cryptocurrencies, there are digital assets that utilize a blockchain. The most famous of these cryptocurrencies is Bitcoin. I think the market cap of Bitcoin has almost approached 100 billion, where this is becoming more and more mainstream, and people are starting to recognize the impact that it has. I don't want to go into any technical details on what blockchains are, how they work, or any specifics, because they are quite technical, and we're going to have to go into all sorts of different rabbit holes to explain them. But what you really need to understand is that cryptocurrencies are a valid investment at this day and age. In 2017, cryptocurrencies are being recognized in the mainstream as legitimate, and you can see just by how much the increase in Bitcoin, Ether, and all these other cryptocurrencies in the past year that industry, companies, and people are realizing that they are legitimate and they are here to stay. So I believe Bitcoin was at around 1,000 at the beginning of this year. It's now approaching 5,000. I was fortunate enough to put some money into Ether when it was around $75, and it's now around $400. So that's as far as having risk tolerance, this would be the most risky of all the assets we've talked about today. And if you're looking to get involved in the space, the easiest way to do so is through the Coinbase app. It's just a smartphone application that allows you to buy Bitcoin, Ether, or Litecoin. And if you want to invest in some of these other cryptocurrencies, what you'll have to do is first you'll have to get your Coinbase account, and you will exchange dollars for these three cryptocurrencies I just mentioned. Once you have these three cryptocurrencies on your Coinbase application, you're then able to send them to a cryptocurrency exchange. There are many exchanges. The one that I use predominantly is called Bittrex, Bittrex, and you will send cryptocurrencies to wallets that you create on the exchange, and then you're able to exchange the cryptocurrencies from one to another. So this would allow you to exchange Ether for, say, Ripple, Monero, Lisk. So there's hundreds of these guys, but there's probably about 10 or 15 that have really gotten mainstream attention and are recognized as having real industrial applications in the future.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. So just like you said, guys, Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile, so it's a very high risk investment. So something we're going to talk into more in the future. If you're interested, we'll have a separate video. And just want to thanks a lot for your time, Alex. Really informative. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.